It's time for conversations. Who? What? How? Why?
Don't judge me until you know me. Don't underestimate me until you challenge me. And don't talk about me until you talk to me. Or better yet, mind your business and stop minding mine.
What will be today's conversation? Understanding viewpoints, educating, and stimulating discussions. It's time to connect to T-Horne, your host. It's time for conversations.
Hey, yo, what's good, man? Welcome back to another episode of Conversations with yours truly, T-Horne da Uncool. So let's summarize today's show a little bit. Today's show is running a little bit different than usual. Hold on. Hey, Angela and Swansburg, thanks for watching. So, you excited about the show too. I see the comments, baby. But with that being said, we're doing things a little different today. So usually I come up here with my panel and, we have a topic set, and then I have, certain things to break down the topic of what we're talking about today. But I want to do a little different today. I grew up in a family that has a lot of women in it, a lot of women. And I've dealt with a lot of women in my years of dating and stuff like that. I'm blessed to have my beautiful wife. I have daughters. And with me being a man, sometimes it's hard to see things from the female point of view. So today I have 3 guests on that are going to just, no plan, no set agenda, just give us the woman's point of view. And me as a man, I'm kind of putting myself in the hot seat right now by even, entertaining this. I'm honestly wondering if this is a good decision or not, but I'm letting them ask questions. I'm going to ask them some questions. And we're going to let the ladies do their thing. Angela and Swanberg said, oh, yes, it's ladies' night and the feeling is right. Oh, my God. I don't know if I'm regretting this decision or not. But we're going to see what happens. I'm glad you support Angela. I really am. With that being said, let's bring, first of all, let's bring my panel member on the screen. The oh so lovely, always consistent She Green. Let's bring her on first. She consistent. My podcast partner in crime.
Absolutely.
So you ready to get into tonight's topic? Because I don't know.
I'm ready. I don't know what to expect, but I'm ready.
So let me put this out there. There is a little fine print written in this podcast I didn't say anything about. A lot of times on the podcast, we're talking about politics. We want to talk about religion. So tonight we want to try our best to stay clear of those topics.
Okay.
Think you can do that?
I can do that.
Okay. All right. With that being said, I'm going to bring 2 guests on the screen who I thought would be perfect for this topic. I'm going to tell you why once they introduce themselves. We bring those 2 on the screen. Oh, hey, Sonia. You got to take your mic off mute. Take your mic off mute. How you doing?
I'm good. How about you, T-Horne?
I'm good. So
good.
The reason I asked Sonya to be on the show tonight because I believe it was my first episode.
It was, yeah.
You were on it, and you had so many things to say from a woman's point of view. From a woman's point of view, and you were very adamant and very, I don't want to say aggressive. You just stood up firm on what you said. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like that.
Right. So when I thought about this topic, I said I gotta have Sonya Bennett back on that. I got to have her on there. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
Thank you.
So you want to tell her about yourself a little bit?
Hi, my name is Sonya. I am 54 years old. I'll be 55 in August. I am the mother of a 12-year-old, and I presently reside in Oak Park, Michigan. I am born and raised in Michigan, and I'm just thrilled to be here. I hope that I bring a seasoned female point of view.
All right.
Nice to meet you, Green. It's very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can you bring our next guest on the screen, please? So everybody, this is at least you got to take your mic off mute. This is a very special guest of mine. This is actually my first everything, my first friend, my first sister. This is my cousin Alicia Horn. Like when I was born, 3 months later, she was born, and we rocked everything together. And she's very, 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 very vocal about her point maybe as a woman. So I felt it was very important to have her on because not only is she very vocal about her views as a woman, with her growing up with me and seeing me through my mess and also through the years, she is very vocal about her point of view about as far as me, as far as I treated women and seeing things from a woman's point of view. And she saw me through a lot of my bull crap. And now we're at the point now she can say, finally, T gets it. So, it was very important to have her on. At least you want to tell everybody about yourself a little bit?
Oh. I mean,
I don't know. This is the first time on the podcast, ain't it?
Yeah.
Podcast.
My name is Alicia. I'm 36. I'll be 37 July 24th.
Oh, just everybody know, I just turned 37 on 21st, so happy birthday.
Go Leos. We're not talking Leos. We talk about Leos.
Let the Aries have it. Let the Aries have it.
I have 2 teen boys, about to be 17 and 15, so I'm almost done there.
Oh, yeah. That's what's up. So Angela said grown and sexy. Ooh, okay. All right.
Don't get me started. Look at
hair. All right. So the reason I wanted to have this conversation is because I feel like sometimes as men, we think a lot differently than women do. And sometimes we feel like I'd be doing too much. Sometimes I feel like I'd be doing enough. Sometimes I feel like I'd be being over dramatic. Sometimes I feel like it's a lot of contradictions, a lot of disagreements when it comes to men and women when they're talking, when they're trying to get understanding and figure each other out. So overall, I just want to just let y'all ask questions, have me ask questions, and then get y'all perspective. That way our viewers can understand things and maybe learn something from seeing things from our male viewers, I should say, can see things from a woman's point of view. But also our female viewers can also feel like, okay, finally we're being heard. And somebody taking time out to hear what we got to say. Okay? So I guess I'll be the icebreaker and stuff like that. Let's start off the conversation with relationships. Oh, that's a big topic. Relationships. So question 1. I'm thinking these top of my head, y'all. Question 1 for a woman. All right. Let's say you're in a relationship, right? And the man you're with, when he first started dating, he does all this stuff to impress you. He's doing everything you want him to do, blah the squaze. And as time goes on, 6 months, maybe a year down the line, things start to change, and he starts acting a little different. What do you guys think is the reason for that or the start of that? And I don't need the first answer to be, oh, he cheating. Let's think outside the box here. What do you guys think could be a reason for that?
His money could be low. Like a lot of times, men don't know. They can't, well, from my point of view, now I can't speak for men, but I do know that when they money funny, they're not really, it's like they can't do 2 things at once. The money got to be right and then everything flows. But if the money ain't right, then sometimes it's like it takes a lot of their focus away from the actual relationship. So I feel like that would be one, they funds not right. So it's like, I mean, it's not, you know what I'm saying?
I'm not that Angela. Angela, these comments on drop them.
But sometimes it be like that.
Yeah.
Like, when at the beginning, they be good, you know what I'm saying? Something happened or whatever. And then it's like, a lot of them don't even be looking for relationships when they get like that. They be in their own little, their little box.
I got you. Anybody else want to give me an insight on that?
I really
All
do.
again.
I definitely want to give some insight on that because
Go ahead.
3, 6, 9 months, a year, they're already slipping away. Then they just expected you to be a booty call in the beginning, and then somehow we fell in love and decided, oh, you my man now, you my baby, and he wasn't looking for that. He was not expecting that. He's bored. He wants to go on to the next booty call, and you have made him stay with you.
That's this is a precursor before we get into yours, Michelle. I want to let everybody know that Sonya was the first person on my podcast to say the phrase sloppy toppy. So let's keep that in mind when it comes to our comments, okay? These are the kind of comments we're going to be making.
Gotcha.
That took it, didn't it? You forgot about that, huh? Something to give Michelle?
Yeah. Personally, I think it will require a conversation, different men, different things. But one thing that I think that could potentially be going on is maybe stress. You know, it could be stress with his job. You know, I know guys who hate their job, but they stick with it because they have to provide for their family. Maybe it could be frustration and stress from not being where he felt like he should have been. I don't know, but to automatically assume that it's cheating, I think that requires a case by case conversation.
Okay. So let's say this then. All right. So I heard money might be an issue. I heard stress in the job might be an issue, and I heard that you might have just been a booty call issue. Honestly, I ain't gonna lie. When it comes to me talking to women in real life, Sonya sound like the realest one. Because I'm gonna say why. I'm gonna say why. Because of the simple fact that we're on the podcast right now, and generic answers are given. Not saying our answers are generic, but the answers that that if you actually take time to think about it, Alicia, your answer, and Michelle, your answer makes sense. But Sonya's answer to me is the most realistic of how a woman would act. Because I said in the beginning, don't assume it's cheating automatically off the bat.
Yeah.
But soon as something happens, that's like the first thing that happens. And majority of the time, I'm not even gonna lie. Sometimes that is what it is.
Right.
Right.
Sometimes that is what it is. I know I've been in situations where that has been what it's been and stuff like that and everything. But I asked that question because I want to get into, and I got 3 strong black women on here. I'm glad I do. I want to get into the whole thing about why these assumptions are made. Some can be made because maybe the man has done some stuff that seems a little shaky, a little shady and stuff like that. But what if a man is doing what he's supposed to do, loving on you, right? He's taking care of the household, this and that and everything, and not doing nothing wrong, but he does stuff like acting that way. Why is it the first thing women jump to is, okay, he may be cheating or he may be distracted by somebody else and this and that and everything? And that's one part of the question. The other part of the question, if that is the case, what's your response to it? Are you going to help him get out of that funk and get his mind right? Or are you going to come at him with negativity? That's so, yeah. I see you shake your head, Michelle. I see you shake your head. You want to go ahead and answer first?
Yeah, but hell no. Help him get out of a jacked up headspace. No. First of all, if he gets to the point where he's starting to fall off and act funny, this ain't something that just happened overnight. I would have been cut him off long before he got to that point, if that's what I felt like it was. So, nah. I say no.
Sonya smiling.
Okay. I got something.
Okay, Alicia.
Okay, so with that, that's a lot, because when you say, if they're doing everything they're supposed to do, but maybe something is just not aligning with what I want or what I need, then it causes me to think otherwise. It's because a lot of times it's a trigger. And when you have 2 people that are damaged in certain areas, it's kind of hard to decipher the difference between, oh, you cheating, or, oh, you having a mental break, like you really having some other stuff going on. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it just be You can have somebody that's withdrawing from you, and it's because they're going through something that really, you know what I'm saying? It's something that maybe they can't, men are not expressive creatures. So they don't express a lot of their feelings and their
At all.
emotions.
At all.
So with that, it's like you could have somebody that's withdrawn from you, but it's because they're cheating. But you could
Mhm.
also have somebody that withdraws from you because they have other things going on that they don't know how to express to you. So I feel like that's a case by case thing too when it comes to, am I gonna stick by him and, you know what I'm saying, help him through it? Or am I gonna be like, you know what? No, at the end of the day, like, we grown. I raised my kids. I don't feel like going through this when it comes to them. You know what I'm saying? It just depends on what you can deal with and what you can't deal with.
I can agree with that.
Yeah, I'm paying attention to everything y'all saying, and Sonya, I want to hear from you. I really do. But it's really killing me over here. I'm over here reading my side comments, and Angelina is going in. Oh my God. She got send him packing. That ain't my job. It ain't a career path.
Right.
Put him on a performance plan. Welcome to ladies' night. Oh, hold on, y'all. You know I gotta pause. My wife just said something.
Hey, Cassandra.
It can simply be the woman he's involved with. You could have changed to something or someone he's not attracted to. That's it too. That's it too. Okay. So another question. Now I want y'all to ask some questions too, so y'all can get some things from man's point of view. If y'all got, if y'all.
Oh wait, can I respond to that though, Terrence?
Yeah, you certainly can. I'm sorry, I forgot. Go ahead.
That's okay. I do want to say, I agree that it is a case by case, depending on how you as a woman want this man to be in your life. If he is just a booty call and his mind space gets messed up, then you should send him packing. Don't invest your time. Life is too short.
Right.
However, I know I'm not married, and I would like to say that my longest relationship, he definitely had some different issues, and as a Black man, therapy was not an option for him. He finally decided that therapy was something he wanted to do and that he needed to do. And I would like to say that I was very patiently waiting for him to get through that. And, he was important to me. He is important to me. And I wanted to stick it out. He's not just a booty call.
That's good.
All right.
Okay. It's nice to hear some good perspectives. I mean, some lined up, some a little different, but it's good because y'all are different women. We should have different perspectives. But whoever's watching can understand from the viewpoint of seeing how different women are responding. So now I have a question for y'all. Oh, Michelle, you see in the comments, Cassandra said,
My girl.
But I was like, here's a question. So I'm speaking from this point because this is I think the biggest fear has been the biggest fear of mine when it comes to relationships, because it's no secret, I've had a past of cheating. Granted, now I'm with a woman that I have no need to cheat anymore. So because she everything. We don't get on. I've not hyped my head up too much today, but one of my fears in relationships is when you get into a relationship and everything's all good. Puppy love stage. You intimate all the time. Y'all giving each other attention. Sex is great, and everything just mwah. You know what I mean? But as time goes on, things start to slack. The spark starts to die. People start getting lazy in relationships. And I know with me in the past, I've always lived with the motto of whatever you do in the beginning of a relationship, that's how you cut their attention. So you need to do that the entire relationship. I understand things change, you get tired and stuff like that, but you went after this person because you wanted that person. So you do what it takes to keep that person. And what you did in a relationship was not only enough to get them, but that's what it's going to take to keep them. And then, this may have been a bad way to think, by being honest. My mindset was also, hey, if you don't do it, somebody else will do it. And that's what it is, because when you're not appreciating, somebody else will. And I know women say it all the time, but that follows for men too. So my thing is this: the question I thought it lead to this question: why is it in the beginning of a relationship with women things to be great? And I understand, things change with men too, but as time goes down, things end up dying down, and women feel like men, but you got to understand this is what it is. For men, and that's my opinion, but I feel like for men, women always want men to keep up to a certain standard. But then when it comes to the woman changing up or the woman getting lazy and stuff like that, then the man just has to simply understand what's going on. Anybody got an answer for that one?
Yeah.
I do.
I've been waiting. I know y'all ready. They like, keep talking to you. Keep loading the clip. Keep loading the clip. You yeah, go ahead though. You want to go first, Alicia? You go first this time, Alicia. Go ahead. I know you itching over there. Go ahead.
It's a lot that goes into that too. Because I could really get on here and be like, oh, what you mean when a woman slack? Then y'all gotta take it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, and this is just my opinion, the woman is the nurturer in the relationship. So the woman thinks outside the box when it comes to a lot of things. And it's like sometimes it feels like men have to go through so much to be considerate, to be, oh, let me step out of the box and do this for her or whatever. It comes easy at first, but it's still hard because it's out of the norm. And so when they start to get comfortable with you, it's almost like, it's not really a chase, because at that point the woman is doing a lot more. Like once she start to love you, once she start to, you know what I'm saying, she's doing a lot more. So it's not really like it's almost like, they feel comfortable getting lazy when it comes to, oh yeah, we used to go out on dates, now we don't go out on dates. So and then it comes to like, you also have to think about, once you start living together and being around each other all the time, you feel like, oh, well, we always together. So, they don't really think, oh, well, she still want to go on dates, or she still want to do something. And a date is not just going and spending a whole lot of money. It's just that, you know what I'm saying? It's just that time away from everything. A date is like a time away from, when you think about no bills, when you think about insurance, when you think about nothing, it's just our time. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of times I feel like it's just, like you said, the chase. I feel like it's because the chase is not there anymore. Once they have you, they feel like they have you. So it's really, I'm not trying to prove myself at this point because you're mine. So I feel like that's what it is. It's like the chase is not there anymore.
But that being said, y'all don't feel like being in a relationship, you always have to prove yourself? That's like a never stopping thing? I feel like that. I feel like, I do. Y'all say,
Yeah.
They know. I feel like when you're in a relationship, you should always be trying to prove yourself to your significant other.
Yeah, I mean, every relationship, you have to do that to your job. If you start slacking off at your job, they're going to let you go and roll somebody else in. If you start slacking off in your relationship, they're going to let you go and roll somebody else in. I mean, every relationship requires some form of work. It's just a matter of whether if the juice is worth the squeeze.
Angela's not with it. I don't know. It's like, keep it down, let him go. I'm through. Babu.
Yeah, Angela needs to quit. She is happily married. She's been married for 5 years. I was at the wedding.
That's what I was going to ask. I'm like, she is so mean. She's married.
She's stuck it out.
Let's talk about if you act up on the job, they're gonna let you go. Someone you got promoted to customer.
Wow.
I'm on a podcast one day.
Oh, good, yeah.
Michelle, you got some insight you want to give?
I think a lot of things can change the dynamics of a relationship. I've been through it myself. I got a friend going through it right now. Her and her significant other got together. They all lovey-dovey, honeymoon phase, everything good. 4 years, get married, everything good. First year, along come a baby. Now she got added responsibility. Now she juggling multiple personalities and still trying to maintain this, the standard that she had with him, in addition to her working outside the home as well as he is and stuff. sometimes men don't realize that you kept going with just your job and coming home, but she still, now she's added additional responsibility that you may not, let's just keep it real. Not all men jump in and help take the burden like they should, So
Yeah.
I know, I struggled with that previously in a relationship. We started having kids and stuff, and I had to look, Negro, I need you to not come home and post up watching ESPN, because when I get off from work, I got to put on another hat and start with job number 2 and number 3 in the kitchen. I got to do laundry. I got to do all this, and you come home and relax like you did when it was just the 2 of us. So, I think, after a while, the longer you're in a relationship, you take on additional responsibilities, additional roles and stuff. And I think, maybe sometimes those roles and responsibilities may not be evenly distributed, which may add, extra factors into maybe one person being more tired than the other. So, it may lack in some areas, you may put on additional weight, and all of a sudden he ain't, you don't look as appealing to him because you spitting out all these babies. It's a number of factors that I think could go with that, that leads to there not being enough effort and being intentionality on both parts. So
Michelle, I want to piggyback off what you said just now, and then after that, I'm gonna let you ask, then we're gonna go to the break. So, I hear you saying. What you're saying makes a lot of sense. But with that being said, in retrospect, we talk about the woman sucking off. In retrospect, would you be? And I guess all I can answer. We got 2 minutes up for the break. In retrospect, if the man started slacking up because of the same things, responsibilities and stuff like that, anything, would y'all be as understanding as y'all want him to be with y'all situation? She's not quiet.
Well, in my opinion, the man is the provider. The man is the provider. Now, if I married you, if I married you and you didn't have a job, you were laying on the couch, then I knew that that's what I was signing up for. Mm-hmm. But if you start off, that's the way you should be. I mean, I feel like women should, and it's not just women that gain weight from the babies, men slack off and they stop working out. They don't want to take you out anymore and stuff. The things like that. It's a two-way street, but you got to keep the fires burning.
Exactly.
I got you. I'm with that. I just want to be, because I hear what's being said about men being understanding the women in their situations, but I just want to know if it's vice versa, because a lot of times in certain situations, I feel like, and this is my personal opinion, I could be wrong, but due to my experiences, I feel like women want, man, but you gotta understand this happened. You understand I'm tired now. You understand I had kids. You understand I gained weight. You understand my job trusting me out, this and that and everything, blah, 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 blah. And that's understandable. And it should be understood. But when it comes to a man and his responsibilities, then when he goes through stuff, then it's more of understand me, but I'm going to complain about you.
Yeah.
And it's like, a man stop showing affection is a problem. But for the woman, you gotta understand. A man starts gaining weight, you know what I'm saying? It's a problem. I mean, it's just, I don't like the whole the consciousness and the double standard. Does that make sense?
I don't understand, because I really believe that a lot of women are probably too understanding when it comes to certain things, where we don't even allow the man to really be a man because we're pacifying everything. No, sometimes you got to be accountable. Hold them accountable.
Pause it right there, because we're going to the break, but you ended on a good topic I want to talk about when we're back on the break, about women mothering men and stuff like that and all that stuff and everything too. So we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back to conversation with T-Horne da Uncool. We'll be back.
Okay.
Living with anxiety and depression can feel like you're drowning. Come join a tribe that will help you press through parenthood and life. maternalmattersfavored.org, mmfavored.org. The following is a testimony from dfcmarket.com.
What is my name? My name is Michael Douglas Scott. I've had chronic pain for the past 15 years. As I age, I get more pains. I have degenerative arthritis. I have basically 14 different medications, and they range from sleep apnea, trazodone, to ibuprofen, to meloxicam, to gabapentin, these are pain medications, about 6 different pain medications, medications to go to sleep. And I learned about the immune support through Ernest Warren. He's a real good friend of mine. Do something, and he wanted to know how it made me feel. But it made me feel like a young boy again, you know. And it caused me to be feeling full of life, full of energy. When I took the super immune support, I saw results the second day. Several friends who really wonder what the heck's gotten into me, because I'm jumping all over the place. I catch the bus and the train. I drive my van to the train station and use the stairs. And every chance, all day I'm jumping up and down and doing push-ups, not push off the walls, jumping jacks, just full of energy. I've lost 25 pounds since December the 5th. I want to tell the world. I'll stand on the mountaintop and tell the world how good this stuff is on me. It takes care of me. My name is Michael D. Scott, and I take super immune support beta-glucan, and I think you should too.
Visit www.dfcmarket.com for more information. Compelled to the highways and byways, Luke 14:23, ANGB presents the 2025 Acceptance Tour. Join us in Kingsland, Georgia, April 11th through the 13th, Friday night, 7 p.m., Saturday, 10 a.m. Authors, workshops, health, wellness, shopping, and fun. Enjoy a movie presented by Sister Batten Productions. We'll be at 1313 East King Avenue in Kingsland, Georgia. For more information, call 407-914-6519. That's 407-914-6519.
Hey y'all, welcome back. The conversation with T-Horne da Uncool. Excuse me, I have a little fascination with playing yoga. I had to get me one real quick. But let's get back to the conversation. Last thing we talked about was my cousin Alicia was giving her insight on women being too understanding. And then that made me think about the whole aspect of a woman mothering her man. So I want to talk about that real quick. So if you could bring everybody back onto the screen. Alicia, hey.
Hey.
Sonia and Michelle.
Why am I so close? I don't like when you be putting me up here because I want to see half my face. Y'all see my whole face?
No, we only see half of it, but okay, there it is. There it is.
Right there. So Michelle wasn't. I think we lost Michelle. We'll see if she popped back on later on because it may have lots to do with technical difficulties. But Alicia, before we went to the break, you were saying something about how sometimes women care too much.
With too understanding.
Between too understanding. Mm-hmm. And that made me think about, well, first of all, before we get into the whole thing about women mothering their men, what do you mean exactly about women being too understanding?
We go off of, sometimes we can be too empathetic to what a man has going on based upon our past or what we've actually been through, we get to the point where we don't hold them accountable anymore. It's almost like everything is okay. Oh, you cussed me out yesterday, but that's okay. Oh, you lost your job yesterday. You ain't looking for one today, but that's okay. I understand. It's almost like you're just being too understanding instead of still holding him accountable. Because a man at the end of the day wants to feel like a man. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to the point where you start, like you said, you start mothering them, now that's like another dependent. And if you already have children on top of that, like it makes it gets to the point where now it it it, it almost affects everything. It affects the attraction. Cause now, you know what I'm saying? I'm not looking at you as a man per se. You know what I'm saying? Like my attraction for you is kind of fading because of when I initially started talking to you, or when I initially fell in love with you, you was taking care you was taking care of your business. And then it's like now they get comfortable with the mothering aspect of it, and then they become another dependent. And then it's like, oh, I gotta feed the kids, I gotta feed, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, I gotta do this, or I gotta send him some money, or it's just, it comes with a lot more responsibility for the woman when it comes to the mothering aspect. And then you also have to look at what that person has been through. Does that person have a relationship with their mother? Did this person receive love from their mother like they were supposed to? Like, you have to, was the mother even in the picture? You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that, it adds to the trauma of the man, basically. To me, in my opinion, it adds to the trauma of the man, because he's like at a standstill where he can't be a man, or he doesn't even know how to, because no one gives him the opportunity.
Like holding him back, basically,
Right,
instead of being who he needs to be and stuff like that. I
right.
can, I can see that with just seeing the men in this generation. Like a lot of men are depending on their women to the point where most men ain't going to get in their own house, or so like they get living with their girlfriends, their fiancés, and stuff like that. Or most women are the breadwinners in the house, and not to point. There's nothing wrong with a woman being a breadwinner, but when to the point where you're depending on the woman to do everything and stuff like that, and you're just probably just using your money just to use it wherever you feel like it. The woman paying the bills, the woman buying the food, the woman taking care of all the necessities of the house, and you just splurging your money. I do see that a lot, and then a lot of women do become sympathetic to that and make excuses for men to the point where it's like, oh, and they had the hope that he gonna get better one day. You know what I'm saying? And that one day never comes. Then that woman get tired after a couple months, a couple of years of dealing with that bull crap. Then the woman starts, responding to the man in a negative way, and the man thinking this girl done went crazy. But the
Yeah,
fact of
or
the
she
matter
didn't
is,
change. She
yeah,
didn't change overnight, and it's not her changing overnight. It's just, you just get to the point where you like, now I'm talking to you any kind of way. Now the respect level is gone. Now I'm just, you know what I'm saying, I'm not attracted to you. So like you said, at the beginning of the relationship, sex was no problem. Anytime, you know what I'm saying, and now it's like, I don't even want to sleep with you. Like, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of that is, I mean, it's gradual things that happen.
but the only thing I can say about that is I feel like that's the fault of both members of that party. Reason being
Yeah.
is because first and foremost, it's the man's fault for first of all falling out of place of being the man, but it's also the woman's fault. And this is a lot of women in my generation for letting that man get comfortable in that circumstance and make him think he can do that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like responsibility has to be taken on both ends. And I feel like that's one of them situations where a lot of women be like, oh, just drop him, just drop him, just drop him. But you have allowed him to be that way. And now you don't want to just drop him. So like, it says making your expectations known in the beginning, like, hey, you're gonna be a man in my life. This is why I expect that when you fall, I'm gonna be your helpmate and have your back. But with me helping you, you need to be getting back up. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of women don't do that. They just make excuses. That's why a lot of women be having like all these baby dads to be in jail, or they joking so like, man, you at work all day, he running the streets and using your car and this and that, blah blah, stuff and everything. I think it's a both. I mean, I'm not taking no responsibility from the man, but I just want it to be a thing where we look at both sides too. You know what I'm saying? There's a question that came up earlier I wanted to address too. There's a question, why are we having this conversation? There we go. Why are we having this conversation when the relationship is really up to the man? That's
Who
confusing.
said that?
I'm not
Who
sure.
dictates that?
That's what I was, so the thing is, that's what I was. Someone probably texted in that question because people who watch
Right.
this phone can text it in too. The Angela, so like, I ain't say that. And I'm like, that wasn't you. Angela. That wasn't you.
Yeah, that takes two. That takes two.
Yeah, it's definitely a two-person thing in the relationship, not just up to the man.
Absolutely, I ain't say that.
Man. But I'm confused about that one. The conversation being the relationship being up to the man. That sounds like a dogmatic relationship. If every decision and everything goes relationship
Yeah.
up to the man, or is it being said that it
The
depends
man is supposed
on
to be the
the
check
man's
setter. It's
behavior and
supposed
what
to
he does in
initiate
the
it.
outcome of the relationship? I don't know. Could be.
And I mean, for me, I do, I definitely want a man to initiate. However, that gets old for a man. I'm sure it, it takes a lot to always be the one shooting your shot, no matter what the situation is. So, what?
No, no, you ain't saying nothing wrong. I just feel like somebody understood it for once.
Okay.
No.
Yeah, I
Mm-mm.
I'm
do.
confident with T-Horne da Uncool. It's okay to disagree. Just disagree respectfully. You know what I'm saying? No, you said no, so you feel like at least you reflect a man always when shooting the shot. The woman
The
ain't supposed
man,
to
I, I do, and then see this. I feel like this is the problem with that. So I do feel like a man is supposed to be the one to approach a man that finds a wife, right? Not to get, I get what you're saying, but
Right.
do that.
the man is supposed to be the one to, and see that's the problem with nowadays. You got so many women throwing themselves at men. Every time you turn around, women sliding in men's DMs, this and that and the
Mhm.
third. Like it's too messy.
That's
Let the
true.
man be the man. If he
That's
if you
true.
start off shooting your shot at this man, then you get mad because he won't be a man and he won't do certain stuff. But you initiated this whole relationship. So basically what you did is you putting the ball in his court for him to decide what he want to do, when he want to do it, because you approach that situation. No, that is not for you. That is for the man to do so he can set the tone for that relationship.
Right.
Okay,
I
okay, I
I
agree with
feel
that.
like there's nothing wrong with giving him cues that you're interested, but nah, and
Mm-mm.
that's on him to actually shoot his shot. Like,
Okay. Let me explain. Let me explain, ladies. We all jumped down my throat. Let me explain a little bit. Well, I agree with that 100% what you said, Alicia and Michelle. Initially, the man should shoot his shot and stuff like that. But I'm saying this. When I say shoot your shot or initiate, and I'm talking about in a relationship, because it does get tiring. A man doesn't need to set the tone for a relationship. The man doesn't need to go out the woman because, like the Bible says, we didn't get religion in this one. A man that finds a wife finds a good thing. That's Bible, right?
Mhm.
Fines.
But
Yes.
while you're in a relationship, it does get tiring as a man to be always want to initiate everything, always have to start everything. Like sometimes men want to be touched too. Sometimes men want to be flirted with too. Sometimes men want a woman to come on to them about sex too. Should always be the man's responsibility. And then when the man feels like he's doing it all the time, he gets tired of it after a while. And then
I
to
agree.
yeah, he gets tired because it's like I'm not in this relationship by myself. You know what I'm
Yeah.
Exactly.
saying? You ain't
I
gonna say
think once you're in the
yeah.
relationship, absolutely. But
Yeah,
initially,
that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about initial. Initial should be man all day. Like for example, I think it's crazy for a woman to be getting on her knee asking the man to marry her.
That's
thank
Right.
you.
crazy.
Damn,
Yes,
you know what
very
I'm
Yeah,
saying?
It's
crazy.
that's
Damn,
crazy.
insane.
like, that lady's stupid.
Right.
That's
You know what
thirsty as
I'm
hell. Thirsty.
That's
saying?
definitely out of order. I
Yeah.
agree that
But
that's
see,
out of
that's I
order.
feel like that's the same thing with a woman initiating a relationship. I feel like that's the same as
Yeah,
you getting on your knee and asking the man to marry you. That's not how it's supposed to go. No. But I do understand what you're saying, T, when you say while you're in the relationship, yeah, you should want that reciprocation of what you give in a relationship.
Right.
That's what it's about.
Mhm.
But I ain't sliding in nobody DM talking about, hey, what's up? No, I'm not
With your
doing.
best booty pics.
Mm.
yeah, right. With the
They
bullet
be
too.
thirsty.
You know,
Thirsty. I know. Right.
Good back
Right.
there.
Thirsty.
right. I agree with that. But once you get in a relationship, I feel like it should be a mutual thing. You know what I'm saying? As y'all can see, I'm looking at the live time. We only got an hour show. We 44 minutes in. We obviously ain't finna leave no relationship. We have to do a part 2 and a part 3 of this conversation. So let's see. I'm letting y'all know it's gonna continue on because I know there's a lot more I got to say. But let's continue on with the topic we're on right now.
Okay.
Y'all got any questions for me? You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure as women, y'all probably want to ask some questions about men so we can give y'all
I
some
do.
feedback. Oh, here you go. The wrong person.
I do.
You know what? Act right, okay? Why is it that men are so hard on single moms? Okay, unless they unless they have a baby mama, then they seem to be more lenient, more long suffering.
Well,
But
I get
when
that.
they don't, and I ain't even gonna say when they don't have kids, because I know guys who actually have kids. They done created a baby mama and they still hard on baby mamas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that. I don't see guys go as far as to call baby mamas like, use goods, holes, and should have stuck with your baby. Like, just no compassion, no understanding, no case by case. Why are some men just so hard on baby mamas?
It's a double standard. I'm gonna tell you why. It is a double standard, and it's not a fair double standard. It's not. I personally have never done that, but me being a man and being around, hanging around homeboys and different men and stuff like that and everything. And that thing you're talking about is the reason why I don't address women like that. 'Cause I feel it's a double standard. I feel disrespectful. Because men, we feel like, and I say we, I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about men as a whole, men, the whole male species as a whole. We feel like we can go out there in the streets and do what everyone do, screw anybody want to screw with, mess with anybody want to mess with. But when it comes to a woman, they have to be this perfect treasure of a jewel that was just saved for me. And when I find out you got other baby daddies, or you've been slept with this many people and this and that and everything, you look tainted. I really feel that's a double standard. I do.
It is. It
It
really
is.
is.
And as a man, I will stand up and say that as men who do that, y'all are wrong.
Mhm.
Because it's not fair that y'all can do what y'all want to do, but then expect the women to be this perfect, precious virgin just for you. But you couldn't be that for her. If you
Right.
want to live, if you want a woman that's like that, then you, as a man, also need to be like that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I thought, like me and my wife talking the other day about another double standard, about how a man could be sitting there and have a beer belly, you know what I'm saying, and crust on his lip and stuff like that, and
Yes,
but then he want a woman like a goddamn video
he
vixen.
want a dime.
Right.
Yeah, it's double standard. But it's the same thing with women. There's a lot of women that be on social media talking about, he don't like Shamar Moore or Aaron Pierre. Or he ain't got this amount of money. I ain't finna mess with him. But you live in
In your mama's basement.
you live in what is it called? You know what I'm saying?
Got the mattress on the floor, Sonya.
Yep. Yep.
Got 8 kids, but you want a doctor that's single with no kids and make 6 figures while you work at McDonald's. That's not
Right. Right.
But there is your match. You gotta be what you want in people.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? You definitely got to be what you want
Exactly.
in people. You can't judge people when you ain't looking like nothing that you're trying to get. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Now, I definitely agree with Michelle in terms of single mothers. And I saw a comment there from Dominique saying that she initiated the relationship and now they're happily married.
That's
And
good too, man. That's really good. And I'm glad you're happy you're married. Because sometimes the traditional way doesn't work. And
sometimes it just doesn't. Sometimes it just can't be. I was just looking at Dominique's picture. I see she's a very beautiful lady. Sometimes I think some guys just don't want to even try. They're scared. They don't think they're worthy. And I know that as a single mother, when I became a mother at 41, it was the first time, and I had always had a great deal of I can get anybody I want. But after I became a mother at 41, I did start to think I wasn't as marketable, because I have seen guys just shoot down single mothers and and especially at this age, I want to travel. Men in my generation want to travel now. Their kids are grown. They've got grandkids by now. So it made me begin to think. And then I just realized that what God has for you is for you. And
That's
when
right.
the man I'm with now, he doesn't think about my age, he doesn't care about, and I think that's sometimes that is a one-way street where men I have seen concentrate on what a woman isn't bringing to the table. And then women can do that too. But just a relationship, just like I said, with a job, it has to be work. It has to be work on both sides.
I think the most fundamental thing you said concerning relationships that people don't understand, you have to constantly work. You can't slack off like that and everything. Because the fact of the matter is, if you're working the job, you're gonna expect your paycheck regardless.
That's right.
And if a job tell you, oh, you ain't do like you supposed to say you're supposed to make $15 an hour, and your job tell you, yeah, you only did $11 an hour worth of work. You'll pay you 11 this week. You're gonna be like, man, what the hell? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You pull out the calculator.
Right.
So it gotta be the same way with relationships, not just relationships with like men and women, but any relationship, friendship, family, relationship with God, all that stuff in there. You know what I'm saying? Any relationship takes work. But main thing, relationships, man, you gotta put in work. You can't slack off because then somebody suck up on you, you're gonna have everything to say. But you gotta practice what you preach. You gotta be the example of what you're trying to get. It's like I was saying earlier when we were talking about the whole thing of being what you want. You know what I'm saying? You can't suck off in your relationship and then want somebody to be giving you everything, but you're not giving everything back in return.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what causes a lot of issues, relationships, when it comes to the arguments, when it comes to, granted, it's not right, but I will say this when it comes to cheating and stuff like that, because people cheat because they're trying to fill voids that they're not getting at home. That's just what it is. Or you're just not interested and you're a scumbag. You know what I'm saying? One of the two. But the fact of the matter is, be the example of what you want to be. Because then, if you're giving your everything, and you're not getting that back, then you have every reason to leave the situation, every reason to complain and stuff like that. But don't complain without being the example first. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So we got like a good 7-8 minutes left in the show. Anything? Hold on, let me read some of these comments real quick. Because Angeline is really going in. I pursued mine, premarital counseling. Y'all have softened me. Yeah. Hey, Angeline, you're going in kind of hard. I'm glad somebody Thanks for watching Larry Boyd and Gwendolyn Carter Thomas. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. I hope y'all stay watching every Tuesday at 7 p.m. because we have some interesting conversations.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm going over some of these comments. There's one I saw that I really wanted to get. It was something about it was something about my money. It was something Angela said. Hold on. They blanket note. I guess in that situationship. Something about she wanted to make her husband a house husband. That's what it was.
Oh yeah.
Because Angela must got some money.
I got a question. I got a question for you, T.
Okay. I'm scared to ask you a question, Lisa. You know most about me than anybody on here.
Well,
I'm scared to ask you a question.
So this is not necessarily a personal question. So
Okay.
it's more so of getting a man's perspective.
Okay.
Or maybe we can get a woman's perspective too.
Yeah.
Okay. Say you're in a relationship. It's been a little rocky, right? But you're trying to get back to a good space. So let's just say either or, it could be the woman or the man, whoever messed up in the relationship, they're trying to get back to a good space, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they're making the adjustments, but they feel like they're not getting the credit for the adjustments that they're making. And you know what I'm saying? Like they feel like they're not getting the credit that for the adjustments they're making. How do you give someone the credit but still hold them accountable and without making it seem like you're being too harsh or too mean when you're trying to work on it?
The answer I'm going to give, let me turn around for this. The answer I'm going to give is actually going to be kind of harsh and mean, actually, but you have to stand on this. So you're saying that you're in a relationship and things are rocky and you've been made aware of the problem, so you're trying to adjust and make the changes, but you're not getting credit for it.
Either or.
Okay. First and foremost, the first thing has to be consistency. One of the big things I struggle with relationships is I will make a complaint known, and a person will make a change for 1 day, 2 days, 2 weeks, and then they'll get tired and be like, well, you're not acknowledging the fact that I did this and I did that, and blah, 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 blah. You just started doing it. this is a problem I have. And until I see consistency and see that this is something you normally do, I'm not gonna give you credit. Oh, you're not kissing me, and you give me a kiss today, then tomorrow you go back to not kissing me. But I kissed you the other day. No. That's not enough. I didn't bring this to you. I didn't bring this issue to your attention for you to do it one time and then stop.
Right.
So the first thing I would say, it has to be a consistent thing. You can't be seasonal or sometimey with it. It has to be consistent, because the fact of the matter is, you're gonna want me to always do right by you. So always do right by me. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, and keep it consistent. Because if I slack off, like I said, you have everything to say, so you don't slack off either. So consistency is the first thing.
Right.
Now, if it gets to the point where you're not getting credit and nobody's paying you attention and you are being consistent, I would say that's the time you make it known. Like a good time has gone by and you say, hey, listen, I'm really trying to make a change in this relationship. I've been doing this, and you don't got to break down every single thing you've done, but you can show little examples of like, hey, this is what I've been done, and here's my proof to back it up.
Right.
So you can't come at me like that and say I'm not doing, because I am trying. And that's when the talks happen, where you just because sometimes people are so caught up in their mindset of what you didn't do. When you start doing stuff, just start doing stuff. You gotta remember, you haven't been doing something already for a long time. So it's gonna take some time to break that wall down. It really is. Nobody's gonna see automatically first off when you start doing it. Hey, you kissed me today. Hey, you're having sex with me more. Hey, you're showing me more attention and spending more quality time with me. Hey, you're being more affectionate. Nobody's gonna see that off the bat because they're always used to you not doing. So it's as much as you've been not doing, you got double that time of doing to make a difference. If that makes sense. And if that happens, and they'll always, if you're doing all that and everything like that, and they still don't give you credit or the attention or appreciation you need, then that's the point where I feel like you need to let somebody go. Because now you're doing your part. And if you're doing your part and they're doing their part, then it's automatically going to work. But if it's not working and you're doing everything you can and they're doing everything they can, then that just means it's not working. That's a toxic situation.
Right.
Because there's no way a relationship can't work if both people aren't working equally.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that takes time. You can't just that's like you get burnt by something. You expect your wound to heal by tomorrow. You have fresh, nice new skin. That's not how it happens. It takes time for that wound to heal. Just like it takes time, consistency for you to show that you're making the change and that this change is a temporary thing. This is what it's going to be, and you're going to do this to make the person happy. So in my opinion, consistency is key. And if consistency ain't working and both y'all ain't working together, then you need to scrap the whole thing.
I can agree with that, but let me just add to that. What is so wrong with at least acknowledging the effort as they go along? I feel like if you at least not acknowledge the effort that they're putting in as they are trying, for some people that may be like encouragement. It might encourage them to keep going, like, hey, she see me. She see that I'm trying. She see, so let me keep going with it. Almost like it would encourage them if you even just acknowledge that they're trying. What would be so wrong with it, you know?
There's nothing wrong with that. But then there's also the thing that sometimes when you acknowledge somebody in the beginning, they get comfortable again.
Yeah.
No, I got you. I got you.
They think because they did this one time, they did what it took to appease you.
I got you. They feel like they done hit the ceiling with it. They good.
Right. So that's why consistency is key.
Gotcha.
Right. So with that being said, I like this conversation. This is really a fun conversation to have with y'all. I'm gonna have y'all on again, like for real. Just y'all three. But the time has come where we gotta end the show and everything like that. The last couple of minutes. I think y'all for being on. I think everybody for watching. Shout outs to Angelina Swansburg, Erica, Larry, Gwendolyn, and everybody else who watched tonight. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate it. Yep, I appreciate Dominique. Yes, Dominique, Miss. I pursued my husband. Yep. So with that being said, Lisa, Sonia, Michelle, I appreciate y'all. Y'all got anything y'all want to say before we go out? You got like 2 seconds to say something. Go ahead.
It was so nice to meet you, ladies, Michelle and Alicia. I look forward to continuing this conversation.
This was fun. We definitely got to do it again.
Fun.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we'll be on next Tuesday at 7 p.m. again. I forgot what the topic gonna be, so we'll just find it next Tuesday. All right.
Okay.
All right.
That being said, this conversation with T-Horne da Uncool. I thank everybody for watching, and remember, be blessed and be uncool. Don't judge me until you know me. Don't underestimate me until you challenge me. And don't talk about me until you talk to me. Or better yet, mind your business and stop minding mine.
Yeah, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, my name coming out must taste good cause you keep it in your mouth. Got something else for you to go down south. I'm just playing. What the heck you talking about, huh? Why you worry about who I wanna date, huh? Why on the main course on your plate, huh? Why everything concerning me gotta turn to be argument or debate, huh? Is he a Christian religion? Has he forsaken? He just was dating her. How many women he dating? Had another kid? That nigga don't know when to stop. I heard he smoking, getting high. Boy, that fell from the top. See what I learned is your concern. It's all about me. Y'all gossiping, made me look at y'all like female dolls in heat. But let's make something concrete. I'm seasoned, yes indeed. Y'all must like the recipe, cause y'all all on my meat. Yeah, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, haters try to diss me, they love me but they dismiss me. Play hard but acting sissy. They lies be so convincing and exes get jealous quickly. They won't admit that they miss me. They hate that I moved on, so use my children against me just to keep up the talk. People peep on my wall just to keep tabs on my flaws, just to keep me involved. Doing everything they ask me, but that ain't enough. I'm on everybody's tongue and everybody on my John. His rap career won't take off. That nigga ain't hard, he really soft. Try to see his page, but I'm blocked. He was living for Jesus, then he stopped. Can't get girls just to knock him off. He lie, the truth ain't what he taught. I be so close to popping off, but then I realize I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh, I'm the topic of conversation. Circles talk about me. Yeah, I'm in rotation. I'm the one they talk and then they gossip about. Now it's so hard for them to keep my name out their mouth. Oh,
My whole life, I lived it based off of other people's opinions. They judge what I do, what I say, how I think, and I judge my whole life based off their interpretations. But now I got to the point where I realize my life is my own, and I'm the only one that can live it. So, if you got an opinion, keep it to yourself. I'ma live how I see fit.
I'm the topic of conversations. Yeah, I'm in rotation. Gossip about, keep my name out their mouth. Oh.